Massive USL playoff implications lie in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina tonight. After winning in Oklahoma back in April, the Charleston Battery welcome FC Tulsa to town as the two sides seek stronger footing in the playoff picture. Going to be a fascinating one. Jack Edwards and Jose Rodriguez with you here in the broadcast booth as this game brought to you by Berkeley Electric. These two teams in interesting veins of form entering here. Let's look at the standings, Jose, entering to today. X in front of Charleston's name. They've qualified for the playoffs. They're in third place, seeking for as many home games as possible. And Tulsa, just ahead of Detroit City, very close on that playoff line.
Listen, it doesn't get any bigger than this. It's a big, big game. For Charleston, at this point, being qualified to the playoffs is something that we expected from them. But we also expect them to fight for first place, for second place in the East. And for Tulsa, my goodness, a lot on the line here tonight.
We want to see organization from them. There are some big suspensions that will limit them in the attacking areas, so Jose, defensively, very important for them.
Well, yes, absolutely. For Tulsa, they need to stay very well organized. They cannot concede a goal early on, and that leads me to the keys to the game for Charleston. They have to pressure right from the start. They need to find a way to get a goal early to dictate the tempo of the game.
Wouldn't be surprised if this man's involved in that. Fidel Baraja, 17 years of age, incredibly young, pair of goals, 8 assists this year. What a talent he is.
Well, he's 17, but he doesn't play like 17 years old. He's very dynamic. He can play through the middle. He can go through the wings as well. He scores, he assists, a little bit of everything, and still a lot to grow within the game. But man, he's a lot of fun to watch.
Another player incredibly fun to watch. On the flip side for Tulsa, 16 years of age, even younger than Fidel, is Nathan Worth. He's been playing in several of his last matches, grown in stature since coming off the bench against Tampa Bay. He's going to be middle of the park here for Tulsa.
And a great opportunity for him. These are the games that really help you to continue to develop. As a young player, these are the games that you want to be a part of. So for Nathan, a great opportunity in the middle of the field. Great opposition as well, which, is going to raise the level of competition for him. Looking out for a solid performance from him.
Should be a great one between these two sides, both of them limited by suspensions. We'll show you the starting lineup. It's going to be fascinating with how this one breaks out at Patriots Point. Charleston, Tulsa, other side of this break on ESPN+.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
You hear all the time about Diamonds Direct's prices and selection and warranties. All true, and all good reasons to give us a visit. But what really sets Diamonds Direct apart is something that's hard to put into words. But you will feel it. You'll know it from the minute you walk in. It's our unique culture, our passion, our genuine and absolute desire to totally revolutionize the way you experience jewelry shopping. It's why we do what we do. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete. You're obsessed. You're in love. You're in pain. Spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity. Because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
The players beginning to take the field at Patriots Point Soccer Complex. Going to be a big one between the two sides. Playoff implications for Tulsa. Can Charleston continue their push to the top of the East? We'll see how things break out in today's matchup. Both teams, though, Jose, limited massively in terms of their selection. Several changes for Charleston to show you a similar look in terms of formation, but Ben Pierman has a few tweaks on Minus 11.
Yes, a 4-2-3-1 formation. You know, they are missing players, but honestly, at the top, there's a lot of talent. Traeger, Barajas, Williams, and Booth. I mean, those guys can do a lot of damage, and they are very dynamic in the sense that they can move around the field and still be very effective. And, you know, Allen and Nikasa, very solid as well in the middle defensively.
Daniel Kuzemka in goal, making his first start in the league this year on his 25th birthday. Happy birthday to the man, Daniel. The visitors from Tulsa under Blair Gavin dealing with their top 3 goal scorers, all with 1-match suspensions. Their front 2, between them just 1 start. Those wingbacks, Jose, might be a bit deeper more defensively.
Yes, I think that's the plan. We have listed them initially in the middle of the field because this is what will happen when they have the ball. We don't expect them to have the ball as much. When they don't, they will be playing with a 5-man backline.
The 5-man backline up front, Saeed Haji and Patrick Weah, pair of younger players. We'll see how it breaks out here. You see the 2 teams on the field with our injury report presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Handwala Buana out for the rest of the year, of course, for Charleston, and then 3 suspensions for each team. We'll fully dive into those as the match begins to progress. The teams, though, on the field, Jose, going to be a tight affair in the white kits. The visitors from Tulsa, and in their typical black and yellow, the hosts, Charleston, led by that man, Ben Pierman, his first season at the helm, trying to do what he did with Memphis last year. A very strong season in the East.
One of the top coaches in the league, without a doubt.
We're underway from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Can Tulsa try and secure their playoff position elsewhere? Teams will be nipping hot at their heels. We'll see if Charleston can continue their push up the East. They've been in a very good vein of form, both of these teams have. 2 wins in the last 3 for Tulsa, 3 wins in the last 4 for Charleston. But we'll talk about Tulsa, what they don't have today, and that's Philip Goodrum, Marcus Epps, Milo Yosef. Between them, 22 goals, some really talented goal scorers. The team itself has scored 34, so that's just 12 goals amongst the rest of the squad that's not suspended today, Jose.
Well, you know, at this point, you expect your team not to be 100%, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot. You're missing a lot there. And in Goodrum as well, a player that you brought in, not in the middle of the season, very early on, but, you know, a goal scorer for this team. So, a big miss, and but they need to find a way, because at this point, you know, nobody's going to feel sorry for them. Charleston is looking for 3 points here tonight, and they need to find a way if they want to be a playoff team.
This one looped forward. Barajas trying to put a foot in on it. Here is Haji, one of those players brought in as a forward who's going to have to step up in a big way. Weah, other man, making his first start for Tulsa. On the flip side, though, defensively, the impacts of suspension will be felt for Charleston. No Juan Sebastian Palma, very versatile, very unique center back profile for them.
Yeah, and Palma is a player that, you know, allows Charleston to play with a 3-man backline at times. And, you know, with him not being available, then it's completely different, a completely different setup. But you expect, especially at home, Charleston to be successful defensively.
Free kick given. Early opportunity for Tulsa here from the free kick. You see the main man, Blair Gavin, also in his first season for Tulsa. You imagine that set pieces will be a good area of attack when you're missing some of your main attackers. Set pieces won't change a ton based on the personnel on the field.
This is a big part of the game for Tulsa, you know, and if you get this opportunity early on, you can pretty much set the tone from set pieces.
Nate Worth, Blaine Ferry look to be the 2 who stand over it. 4 and wide at the edge of the 18. Clipped in, headed towards goal, but it'll be wide. Rucci got his head to it after Nate Worth clipped it forward. That one just wide of goal.
Yeah, a little bit surprising, not a lot of numbers inside the box for Tulsa. Just 3 players and a lot of defenders for Charleston. So a little bit interesting strategy that time from the visitors.
Booth. Shifted out wide. Left-hand side. It's Crawford. Tristan Traeger, in a great vein of form himself. We talked about as one of our yielding keys to the game for Tulsa. Just be compact defensively, have your lines sound. And that's going to be something to watch out for as Derek Dodson begins to probe forward.
There's the 5-man backline that we talked about. You know, it's pretty clear.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense, to be honest, especially early on in the game. You really, if you're Tulsa, you really don't want to concede early.
When you have forwards who haven't started a ton of matches this year, you're missing your main men, going down on the road, it's a tough proposition.
Against one of the top teams in the conference. Yeah, you just need to be patient. You know, if you're Tulsa, you need to be patient, very well organized. And then, you know, when you get opportunities in front of goal, and that's the tricky part, you just really need to be effective.
This is gonna bounce kindly. Barajas. He's got 2 in support in the box. Fidel Barajas onto his preferred left. Again, cuts it back. Deflection and what an opener. A brilliant finish from Fidel Barajas, the first one on frame. What a start for Charleston, trying to push themselves right up to the top of the East.
My goodness, what a player he is. How much fun it is to watch Fidel Barajas continue to grow. Wow, just what a play. You know, a lucky bounce here, yes, but you need to take advantage of those as well. Look at the calm here, gets inside the box, you know, makes the move that will favor his shot. And when he's ready, he takes on the challenge. There's a small deflection as well. No opportunity for the goalkeeper. To the back of the net it goes. Solid start for the home side.
Not as quick a start from their match against Loudoun. Tristan Traeger scored within 30 seconds then, but they'll take a goal within the first 5 minutes. That's goal number 3 from their wonder kid, 17 years of age. Man, he's a special, special talent. You could just tell when he was moving on that left foot that something was brewing. And in the end, came across goal number 1. Tulsa, a big challenge to try and come back from.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now what if you're Tulsa?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you worked, you know, Blair Gavin, I'm sure, worked really, really hard on a strategy to try to be solid from the get defensively. And, you know, we just passed the 5th-minute mark and you're already down by a goal. So now what?
They'll look potentially at the match that Charleston played last week as reference. This was turned over. Augie Williams can get onto it. Maybe try and bring in the goal scorer. Switch of play. Traeger's his target. Traeger will track it down, does well to bring it in. Crawford. Into the box. Williams is attacking it. Again, Barajas. Can he go for 2 in quick succession? It's Dodson in the overlap. Headed away. First time effort, wide a goal. That's the confidence that a goal brings you as a team to just try that effort from outside the box.
Yeah, and you know, the fact that they are so comfortable moving the ball from side to side, you know, Augie Williams switching sides very easily, knowing that Traeger is waiting for that ball, and he's equally as dangerous as Barajas is on the right side. This team is a lot of fun defensively. I'll tell you what, when the playoff comes, I mean, this stadium should be packed because, you know, this team being back as a contender in USL Championship is not only good for the league, for the fans, but for the soccer family in this country. Charleston Battery is a historic team in the U.S.
They're currently sitting in 3rd in the East. They, again, as we mentioned in the open, guaranteed their playoff spot come playoff time, but they're trying to put themselves in a spot to host as many games as possible here. There are 2 games to watch that also have gotten going here at 7:30 local time. As Augie Williams trying to draw a foul, they will not do that. Detroit City hosting Hartford, that one important for Tulsa. Detroit City 2 points off them in the playoff push there as Barajas, some brilliant footwork to move that one centrally. What skill he has, it's Allen. Chris Allen through the middle. He can bring in Crawford on the overlap. Barajas has started with some real intention in this one. Scoring the goal, obviously, and just a lot of confidence in his footwork. I mentioned the importance of the Detroit City match. That one also going to go at 7:30. Tampa Bay hosting Memphis. Tampa Bay, the team to chase for Charleston into 2nd place. This one played into the channel. Traeger put one in the box, knocked out. First corner kick of the match for the hosts.
It is so challenging, you know, when you're facing Charleston, because you feel like if you find a way to control Barajas on the right side, you'll be good to go. But guess what? Dodson is,
Yeah.
you know, running up and down the field. He was wide open in the far post here.
Crawford, the man, standing over it currently, talking with Fidel Barajas, trying to figure out if there will be any short corner shenanigans. Lot in the 6-yard box to make life uncomfortable. Whipped in, headed, punched away. Regardless, gotten out. Ikaza trying to break things out as well. Vital tackle. Crawford realizing that a throw much better than the prospect of a counterattack.
Yeah, for Tulsa, they just need to find a way to settle down, and they need some possession. You know, they need confidence, and you usually get confidence when you have the ball. So just make sure you don't give the ball away. Try to work from the build-up. You know, you don't have to be overly aggressive. There's still a lot of time left, but just find a way to get some momentum going here.
Talking to Blair Gavin ahead of this one, he mentioned Eric Bird as a player he wanted to see step up in importance. Always an important player for them, just step into a big role without three of their talismanic figures. Offsides given. Patrick Weah coming from an offside spot. Also knows that both Patrick Weah, Saeed Haji, between them, no goals or assists on the year. Weah on loan from Minnesota United. They've been options off the bench in large parts of this season. To step up in a big way, but again, we'll have to come from some composure before that probably, as this one's blocked away in the middle of the park. Here is Worth. Was he fouled? Referee says yes, he was. Nate Worth brought down. Another one of our talented youngsters that we mentioned early on. You know, you see youngsters come through, and it's not easy to play anywhere, but as a midfielder, you're right in the heart of things. And he's looked really at home.
Right. Yes, you know, the challenge when you're playing in the middle of the field, you're a young player, is that you're going to have to be involved no matter what. You know, sometimes young strikers, they stay away from the game, you know, if you're not getting a lot of opportunities. And then, you know, if you really have the talent, then you shine and you continue to develop with limited opportunities. But in the middle, you're going to get touches no matter what.
Weah was appealing for a foul there, nothing given. Haji pressing Barajas, but he plays it back to Dodson. Quickly surrounded by two white shirts, but he's fouled. Some early frustration. Weah pointing to where he was knocked over earlier. Blair Gavin watching on as his team has had an early setback. And so you mentioned, Jose, just the plan that they may have had entering the match for Tulsa. How much does that change now that you're down a goal early on?
Well, it changes a lot because, you know, you're playing for a playoff spot, and you really need to get something out of this game. As it stands right now, it's just one goal away from getting a point, which, you know, at this point, it seems like it will be great for Tulsa to come out of this game with a draw. So you really need to find a way. Again, you know, this is the time of the year where moral victories are no longer good enough.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to find a way.
Slipped forward. Flag stays down. It's Weah trying to drive forward. Bird can chase his friend down into the channel. Bird with 3 goals in the year. The leading available scorer due to suspensions for Gudrum, Epps, and Yosef. 1-2, and 1 to chase. Whipped in. It'll make its way to Haji. He's got Weah in the box. It's cleared away. Longest spells of possession here for Tulsa. As Tete can switch play. Haji. Bird trying to just force the ball forward, and Barajas can put a foot through it, clear it forward. Nodded down. Tete trying to pass to the middle. Bird trying to collect. It's one back. We talked about Tulsa, how much changes for their strategy. For Charleston, does anything change for you, or is it a similar strategy to how you kind of plan things entering the match?
Well, the one thing that they can't allow to happen is, they just can't slow down. They need to continue to be aggressive, because Tulsa, because of the sense of urgency that the playoff push brings to the table for them, they will make a push for this game at some point. But you want that to happen maybe when you have a 2-goal lead, a 3-goal lead, rather than, have them tie the game and then you're in trouble.
Ferry has it taken off him. It's going to bounce kindly for Ikaza. And he can slide it away and bring Crawford into the action. He's got a lot of space to drive into. He's going to try one in behind. Williams can run onto it. It's cleared away. That one's going to bounce out for a corner unless it's touched again. Referee will give a foul. Williams judged to have fouled Justin Malou. Pierman with some early slight adjustments, barking them out to his side as Williams, his foul give free kick.
Looking at the entire coaching staff for Tulsa, there's a very interesting scenario. A lot of former players, and that's something that I'm sure is going to help this group a lot, especially tonight with missing some key players for this team. You look at Richie Ryan, Matt Watson, even Donovan Ricketts, and Blair Gavin, of course. Those are all players that recently retired, with the exception of Donovan Ricketts, but he played at a very high level. So, you can relate, coming into this match, missing players with a difficult opponent. They really can, send a message to this group that, we can compete tonight. It's just about overcoming the ups and downs of the game, but we can compete, and I think that's something that's going to be very important.
We will see how this one breaks out after an early goal from the man who's pressing now, Fidel Barajas. Had the ball bounce kindly for him at the halfway line and drove forward and had no fortune with this finish, just put it in the right spot, beautifully placed. Allen, clever flick, invites Traeger to attack, and he can pass it off to his left back. This one slid back to Daniel Kuzmenka, excuse me. Making his first appearance in the USL Championship this season. His first appearance, it's all the way back against Charlotte in the US Open Cup. A 1-0 win after extra time in that one. He had 2 appearances in the Open Cup. Allowed just 1 goal, had a clean sheet in those 2 appearances. That was back in April, though. Trey Muse had started every other match in the league up to this point. So we'll see if he's on the bench, Muse is, so no major injury concern. We'll see if it's a birthday treat for Kuzemka. Actual goalkeeper competition. We'll see how that plays out. I'm interested, Jose, kind of your interpretation of that, because there was really no indication given to us by Pierman. This one is just out of play. On the pass forward by Kuzemka.
Well, it looks like, it just felt like the right time to give an opportunity. Goalkeepers, it's completely different than, the rest of the players, because like Trey Muse, first off, is a solid goalkeeper. And so you don't want him off the lineup at any given point. But at the same time, you want to continue to develop what could be the future. And, you give out opportunities, and maybe tonight felt like the right opponent. You're playing at home, so he can feel comfortable. So maybe that was the part of the decision-making coming into this game.
He hasn't been tested as of yet with his shot-stopping abilities. What a back heel. Dodson can drive into some space in the middle of the park. Sliding tackle, clean, says the referee. Worth quickly plays it out of his feet to Bird. And Ikaza has to track back. That one to the channel. Not one for Way to chase. Doing some really clever flicks in these opening moments. Ikaza, Barajas.
It feels like Tulsa, they have been able to level up a little bit in the middle of the field, but the challenge for them remains at the top. Finding that connection, it's something that they are struggling with. They have a huge presence inside the box.
Haji did well there to track back and win it. Running towards his own goal, though, was Rucci. Michael Nelson puts his foot through it in goal. Dodson. Massive pinball action. In the end, foul given. Chris Allen, the man committing the foul in the middle of the park, that will bring play to a momentary halt. But it is difficult. We've talked about it a lot. Looks like Haji's kind of playing a bit more biased to the left-hand side, but that possession heavily swinging in the favor of the Battery.
Yeah, and if I'm being completely honest, I mean, 40% is not that bad for Tulsa. No. I expect it to be that a little bit lower, but 40% it's okay for right now. Again, now the problem is, how do you get that possession inside the box? Because if you have a lot of possession through the middle, but you can find a way to feed your goal scorers, then, you know, it's meaningless.
Here's Justin Malou. Drops it back to Hughes. Outside the boot pass. Segrist. He'll stay with it. Low. Blocked in the first attempt. Way will press and put a foot in. A foul is called, though. Looked close on the edge. Very thankful are the hosts that one was given.
Yeah, Blair Gavin is right. He likes it. He likes the effort. He likes that for the first time maybe in the match they were able to push through the left, gain some momentum over there. And then, you know, an interesting call with the foul. Sometimes it's the little things, right? If that foul doesn't get called, then you really have an opportunity.
As a ref, it's, especially with no VAR, it's tough to make that call with no callback there. When it's right on the edge of the box, it's massive implication. It's looking at the ref, it's a bang-bang play. Very tight. We were seeing another angle, looked very close, but obviously a lot of contact, a lot of on the ball on the man. The referee deciding enough was on the man for it to be a foul. Hooked forward. One to make life awkward. No risk taken by Rucci, just knocks that one out. Williams off the throw. Here's Allen. Ikaza slides it back. Barajas trying to drive forward. One back, strong dribbling, a 1-2 played. Haji put in his work defensively. Traeger slides it back. Here's Leland Archer. Booth. Dodson. Back to Andrew Booth. Traeger knocked out a play. Last touching him, it'll be a throw.
So Pittsburgh with a 2-0 lead over New Mexico. I have updates for you.
Yes.
You want the next one?
What's the next
one?
You
really want it?
I really want it.
All right, so the Rowdies with a 1-0 lead over Memphis.
Big one there. That means that as things stand, Charleston not advancing in spot. Obviously points better than not as Traeger gets this one into the channel. Tristan Traeger knocked out a play, corner kick given. Those are both big ones. Pittsburgh as well as Tampa Bay. That means the top three is as you were.
Yeah, they just need, for Charleston, it's important to win this game to keep up.
Yeah.
If not, then you're in trouble.
You're falling off the pace, and it's as simple as the higher you climb, the more home games you can potentially get.
This is so much fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like watching one game, but knowing that there are other 2-3 games going on, that you really have to be aware of what's going on. It's so much fun.
Still no goals between Detroit City and Hartford. That's the one that will see the chasers on Tulsa as Crawford can whip this one in. Into the 6-yard box, headed away. Barajas was on hand. It loops up high. Bit of heavy touch from Haji. Williams get onto it. Driven towards the back post. Dodson can stand it back up. Right in front of goal. Vital sliding challenge, not fully dealt with. Dodson can recollect. Ikaza, poor touch from him. By his standards, that one's out.
Great job defensively that time from you know, the entire group, really, because, you know, at this point there's a clear opportunity there, but the sliding tackle is just the perfect time, and you almost never want to see sliding tackles inside the box. It's so risky. At that time, it was just beautifully done by Tulsa.
It looked to be Eric Bird, the man who was sliding across.
Yep.
That one hooked forward, knocked out of play. A throw.
And it's especially challenging, you know, Bird was running back into the play.
Yep.
So it's
had to get it right.
Yeah, it's so easy to run into somebody else at that point, but he didn't.
Was a tackle befitting of a man of his experience. Here's Archer. Dodson. Plays essentially for Booth. And Bird may tug him back. We'll call that a professional foul, and that will be the first yellow card of our match. Called against Bird there, and the referee offering the free kick. First card of the match. There was a lot of them. Last time out for Charleston. It's a really chippy match. See it again. I mean, Jose, it seems pretty clear. You kind of, when you reach like that, you pull.
Yeah.
Seems pretty apparent.
It is a pretty easy decision for the referee, I'll tell you what. It's concerning a little bit because of the nature of the game and how it has been developing in the first 25 minutes.
Sure.
You don't want Bird with a yellow card in the 25th minute mark. You're going to need him. Because
you also wonder, if he's on a yellow card, does he try that challenge in the box that blocks that goal, or does he realize I'm on a yellow? Does that lead to a bit of doubt? He tries to do a standing tackle, but he's a second late.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, he's gonna think twice about, you know, challenges now.
There is Bird trying to play one out wide. That one almost took a kind bounce for Weah, but defended well. Both the forwards are getting used to their starting minutes, as well as the players supporting them, the midfielders, the wingbacks for this Tulsa team. There's developing chemistry live here, so it is, even entering this one, neither coach really had a great sense of what to expect in this one. Imagine it was one that was going to grow as it progressed. Here's Barajas, some step overs. He goes down a bit slowly in his falling to the ground, and the referee says no foul, points to a goal kick. And I have an update now for you, Jose, this time.
All right, there we go.
Detroit City 1, Hartford 0. So a big one there.
Ooh, that's trouble for Tulsa, right?
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Entering the day, Detroit City was 2 points behind them with a game extra that they have in their back pocket, Detroit City do. And with the current scores, it means that they are 1 point ahead. So now, a foul is put in there by Ikaza. The card will be brought out. And this was something that we thought about after last match, just the standard of yellow card that was set early on last time out for Charleston. A lot of yellow cards in that match, and we've already seen 2 in quick succession, one for both sides. Bird and now Ikaza, both booked.
Yeah, both of them now, they need to be very careful. And that looks like a yellow card as well.
It feels like it's in the exact same branch. If that Bird challenge is a yellow card, then that one's a yellow card.
Right, absolutely.
And if the game progresses in the same way, the standard of the yellow card, I don't want to say the standard of the yellow card is low, but it definitely is going to be interesting to see how the two teams adapt to the way the referee's calling this.
And, you know, to be fair, if that's the way to go for the referee, it's good as much as it goes both ways, you know. And as it stands right now, a couple of yellow cards, it looks like it is.
It's been even both ways so far. A.J. Cochran plays it to Archer. He's being pressed. Calm enough. Kuzemka to Archer. Just going to carry it forward, able to stride into a lot of space through the middle of the park. Barajas, he's one-on-one. He's dangerous here. He's into the 18. Slow across goal. He saw the idea, but a vital challenge put in. Barajas takes it off his opponent.
That would have been sweet.
That would have.
He was able to almost give it back.
Barajas, the back post. When Traeger was attacking, but he couldn't quite link it up.
You know, it's like, it's similar to basketball in a sense, right? Like the big man making the run, making the move. You want to feed him the ball. It seems like Barajas wanted to do that with Archer.
He sees 6'2" of Archer just saunter up the middle of the park and says, all right, I'm going to reward the big man for making the run. The pass was just under hit, but you saw the run being made as Dodson climbs highest for the header. Just the 2 shots. They happened within the first 6 minutes for Charleston, and just the 1 for Tulsa. So we've gone more or less 20 minutes since our last shot for either side. This one's tossed in. Ikaza. It'll make its way to Booth. And scoring first, Charleston, 6 wins, a draw, no losses when they score first at home. They've proven this year to be very good when they put themselves in this spot. And that's the kind of record, Jose, you expect to have at home when you take a lead. You want it to be a fortress that is very hard to get through.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you know, thinking everything that happens in the regular season is preparation for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And being a solid team at home, it's, you know, it's the best you can do when it comes to playoff time. It's so challenging, especially in USL Championship. It's so vital to play at home during the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just one game.
Yeah. Just one game, make or break, as the foul was called. Quick talk to the referee after Bird was fouled. Committed a foul, was fouled a moment later. Referee having a discussion with Barajas. Through half an hour. Charleston off to a strong enough start. Great strength shown. He was tugged down in the end. The referee will produce the yellow card for Barajas. I'm not sure if that one's coming out, if there wasn't a discussion right before that between the referee and Barajas, but he becomes the 3rd player in the book. Second for Charleston.
You know, being young as well, you know, provides you with some challenges. You know, when you talk to the referee and 20 seconds later you go out and commit a foul.
Referee, the leash is quite short.
Yes.
What he's going to allow.
Yes.
But the yellow cards have come out in quick succession. One in the 25th, 27th, and now here in the 30th minute. Barajas, the most recent to get one. And yellow card accumulation has been a big factor for both teams. You know, Juan Sebastian Palma was sent off last match, but Nick Markanek, he's unavailable for the hosts. And then the trio, we've already talked about them several times. They didn't make the trip for Tulsa, but Philip Goodrum, Marcus Epps, Milo Yosef, talented players who've been a big part of this Tulsa team in their playoff pursuits, unavailable.
Yep.
In the case of Epps, it was a red card. In the case of Yosef and Goodrum, just their 8th yellow card, that accumulation getting to them in the end. Williams, some hold-up play, dropping a bit deeper, can bring it into Dodson. Crawford to Allen. Back to Cochran. Clever pass forward. It's Fidel Barajas. Has a few with him in support. Coming in field onto the left. He's already got one today. They'll welcome Dodson forward. Archer. Booth leaves it. Crawford. Ikaza trying to just slide one to Dodson. Dodson in the box. Oh, so close. It sat up for him. He went for power in the near post. Just a little bit lower there, Jose. That one's just tearing the net off.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a good combination in the middle. Ikaza was able to move the ball to the right. And, you know, Dodson, he's almost able to do everything right. But you're right, he went for power. And at that point, he just wanted to put the shot on target. He knew exactly if it was on target, it was going to be hard for the goalkeeper to stop it. But that's the challenge when, you know, you go for power, most likely it's going to go over the bar.
Derek Dodson worked with Ben Pierman at Memphis. Foul committed there. Dodson was a forward in his time in college, and for a lot of his pro career at Georgetown, scored 32 goals in 72 appearances at the college level. He scored in his professional debut, as you see in the top right of your screen. Loudoun currently holding a 1-0 lead over Lou City. And Louisville has just scored, as a matter of fact, as well. It is 1-1 there. You see it's halftime for Pittsburgh with a 2-0 edge. Some of your live scores as we get through this one. Obviously our current one here, Charleston up 1-0 over Tulsa. Sliding over to the right-hand side. One from Malou to chase. Back to Worth. This pass, an awkward one to deal with. Tete does just about enough to play through the press. To the feet of Weah. Shows a bit of strength. Pass blocked, but it'll sit up kindly. Malou won't get there before Crawford, and Crawford trying to carry it out. Will kick it out of his opponent. Gets a throw. Big coming together there between Williams and Ikaza. The referee may not have seen it yet as it's clipped across. Haji moving infield. Haji still in field. Trying one towards goal, just over. Williams is down, I believe, still, so we may have to go for treatment for him. It's Haji trying to get one moving there.
So it took Tulsa, almost 35 minutes to finally find a way to, really make a consistent effort in front of goal. This time, more of an individual play more than anything. You want to try the collective effort first, but at this point, for Tulsa, just getting that shot, even if it's not on target, it's a positive for them.
Williams down here. Allow both teams get some water, get some breathers here. Breathers in here with about 10 minutes to go. Battery matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. We can see it again, just the coming together between friendly fire, Ikaza and Williams. You saw it kind of happen as that one came in a bit awkwardly, but they both attacked it, and never good to see two of them coming together. Williams a little slow to get back up, but he is back up.
Yeah, it seems like Augie Williams got the worst part of it, but still, it's not that bad. It's good to take a breather, especially if you're Charleston right now. I get the sense that Tulsa, they are starting to get a little bit more comfortable on the field here. And this is going to be a tricky end to the first half for Charleston if they're not able to step it up. Tulsa, they have the talent on the field to put some pressure.
Still just the one goal. Fidel Barajas within 5 minutes. Just a brilliant individual effort in a lot of ways. Very young player, a player beyond his years. You kind of described him, Jose. We're about ready to get ourselves back going after a brief injury pause for Augie Williams. Score is now 2-0 Detroit City. Having quite a day so far against Hartford within the first half. They're doing what they need to do to try and keep themselves in the playoff push. Currently a pair of goals at home within the first half. Hartford been a tough year for them, obviously eliminated from playoff contention, and they're taking full advantage. Detroit are.
Well, for Hartford, you can only expect the players currently on the roster to continue to fight for a spot in 2024. Within the team, you still want to be part of a professional club, and I can only imagine there are so many players in that roster that are already thinking about next season.
Yeah.
And that's the motivation for them.
Because of some nice footwork. Did it go out of play? It did, not touched by him. When it's a tough year, the gaze very often is pushed towards next year, looking towards the future, when the present is a bit difficult. And at the present moment, Detroit City has leapfrogged Tulsa in that playoff race, putting themselves in a great spot. You see the shots, top left of your screen. Not a ton of them so far. The best of them probably was the goal. But that itself wasn't a great gilt-edge opportunity. It's Traeger. Can they get one here? Here's Williams into the 18. Augie Williams onto the right, takes a deflection into the grateful hands of Michael Nelson, who can pick it up. Quickly try and fire one forward and get us back going quickly. But it's won back by Charleston. Can break forward in a flash, Charleston. Out of nothing, we're talking about the limited opportunities, and then they may have just heard us and said, all right, we need to step it up and drive forward.
Yeah, they just can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing, and probably for both sides. You know, for Tulsa, they just can't get comfortable with the fact that they are having a little bit of more possession, and for Charleston, they just can't get comfortable with the 1-0 lead because it's just a 1 goal.
Searching for a second. Allen. He's got Crawford to his left. A few options to his right as well. Bringing the left back. And he'll make a forward run into the channel. Low.
Oh.
Might set up kindly. Barajas ping-balling around everywhere. In the end, it will break out. Enough done defensively. Hooked forward. It will go back, though, to Charleston. And Leland Archer can just track over and pick it up. Booth, drop of the shoulder. Some green grass to go into. And a player in some space. Barajas brings it in. Oh, my word! What a talent he is. 2 on the day, and they have been magic with that wand of a left foot. Fidel Barajas had 2 entering today, has 2 within 40, and Charleston up 2 on Tulsa.
My goodness, what a beauty of a goal. It's just unbelievable. How talented is Barajas? It's just, what a finish. I mean, there's no goalkeeper in the world that will be able to stop that.
That right there, Jose, is the definition of top corner. It could not be more top corner than that.
That should be a poem right there. That's a poem.
It's beautiful.
It's just outstanding from him. You know, the technical ability, the celebration as well.
He's a player who's enjoying himself right now, and it's showing in the way he's playing.
Wow.
17 years of age, the world is at his feet, and scored the goal. He was booked. You know, he was worried about getting a little chippy. Maybe he plays better with that edge on. 2 goals today. That first was a talented one. It was a nice dribble. Great work bringing it inside to generate the space for himself. Second one was sensational.
It was goal of the week, without a doubt.
I think it's going to be some serious work is going to have to be done if there's going to be one to compete with that, let alone beat it. And Tulsa got to pick themselves back up and try and figure out a way back into this without their talismanic leaders in terms of the goal scoring. We've talked about the results currently at Detroit as Weah drops his shoulder, trying to sprint onto that one, but it's just ahead of him. Dodson did take a deflection, so it'll be a throw for Charleston. That's a big goal. We talked about, Jose, yourself, just the comfort levels. Don't want to sit in. It's only a 1-goal lead.
Right.
2 goals now. I mean, it's twice as good. Simple as that.
And, you know, right before the end of the half as well, you know, which, you know, brings even more added pressure to Tulsa because, you know, because of how they were finishing the half, you know, you can sense a little bit of momentum going their way, but not anymore.
This one might sit up kindly for Bird. Malou, the target of his pass. He slips, though. Just a tough one there. Just that kind of day. It's been kind of a difficult start to this match for Tulsa. Malou tracking back well. And in the end, he will be able to get a foot to it. Teta can play it to Worth. One to chase. Flag did go up though. Haji, I think, realized that he was going to be offsides. Had he tried to track that one down.
What a turnaround it has been for Charleston. You know, from last season to, you know, 2023 is just unbelievable.
Here's Dodson. Could they get a third? Could he get a third? It's Barajas. If he scores from here, that'd be the best of the lot. But I think even that, there are limits to his talent. That does exist, as Booth has it. Barajas. He was coach of the year last year. Ben Pierman was coming in this year now to Charleston. Brought in a lot of players he's worked with. A lot of new faces for him, and they have turned themselves into a formidable side so far. One back in the middle of the park. Weah has a few in white with him, notably Malou. They get back though quickly though, Charleston. 45th minute now. Likely we'll have a few minutes of stoppage time. A pair of goals, an injury stoppage for Augie Williams.
Either doesn't matter. Probably over there, because then you can turn this way better.
Haji to Bird into the box. Patrick Weah gets onto it. What can he do here? Weah trying a bit of trickery. Can slide it off. Wants it back. Weah in the box. Shot blocked, but he was offsides. Was narrow. He was right on the edge. Barajas kicked that one away. He's on the yellow card. The referee, I think, being a bit kind to the youngster.
A good combination that time from Tulsa on the left side. Well, a little bit slow right there inside the box. Need to take that shot a little bit earlier, maybe with a little bit more room. He got closer, and that's where he ran into trouble as well as being an offside. But another good sign, I guess, for Tulsa.
Extra time is brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. There's 3 minutes of it at the end of this first 45 minutes. It's been a very good first 45 for the hosts. They know elsewhere there have been a lot of goals. You know, we talked about Tampa Bay won. They had a 1-0 lead. It is now 2-2 in the Tampa Bay Memphis game. So there has been some drama there. We'll show you the full scores from out of town during our halftime show, so stick around for that as it gets to that time of year in the USL Championship. Moments become that much more important. I think a member of the looks to be Charleston bench has been booked. Much confirmation of that, but I don't believe a player was just booked there. It was Ben Pierman has gotten himself onto the referee's pocket. That one tougher way to bring in. Smoke beginning to descend here onto the pitch in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, Patriots Point Soccer Complex. Be very happy going into halftime with a 2-0 edge. You can't imagine, Jose, that they'll stretch themselves too much in this final bit of extra time.
Yeah, you know, I think at this point, for both teams, they're just waiting for the whistle. You know, for Tulsa, they need to regroup, and for that, they need 15 minutes. They need, you know, talk from Blair Gavin. They are missing.
Yeah.
You know, the key components, especially offensively. It feels like they are missing them.
A tough challenge there. Says they got the ball, but the referee says enough was put in on the back of Patrick Weah. The foul is given. Maybe a chance to launch one forward, one last foray for Tulsa. We knew it was going to be question marks, to say the least, entering this one. Without Goodrum, without Epps, without Yosef. Goodrum with 10, Epps with 8, Yosef with 4 goals. Between them, that's 22 of the 34. It was always going to be a tough task for Blair Gavin. His side, though, does have a free kick after this one. It's a tough one there, Jose, because he gets the ball, but he also gets a lot of the man coming in from behind. It's a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, just coming from behind, that's just you know, very risky tackle. So I feel the referee really need to call that. If you allow that to happen, you know, that's trouble for everybody involved.
No yellow card was given, but it almost felt like a precedent was being set that foul, that type of tackle wanted to be avoided. The referee will blow the whistle, though, for the first 45 minutes. The story of the match so far, Fidel Barajas. Jose, any thoughts to close out this first 45?
Well, it's hard to explain how good he is, but I'm just going to tease you all, and please stick around. Watch the highlights. You're going to love them.
Some beautiful, beautiful moments from Fidel Barajas separate us at halftime. It's a big one in terms of the playoff implications for both sides. Tulsa fighting for their playoff lives. Charleston trying to push themselves to the top of the East. Been a great one so far. Charleston, though, up 2-0 over FC Tulsa as we break for halftime here on ESPN+.
Rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me.
It is halftime here in Mount Pleasant. Charleston 2, Tulsa 0. Now, the Charleston Battery players and coaching staff visited local restaurant Tempest, located on Market Street, downtown Charleston, for a cooking class led by Chef Jamie Lynch. They were instructed on how to cook Carolina caviar, a rice and beans dish inspired by local ingredients like Carolina gold rice, and Elaine Mills, registered dietitian and certified specialist in sports dietetics with MUSC, was there to guide the Charleston Battery athletes in making informed decisions with their diet that improve performance and recovery.
You're a veggie chopper? All right, you're gonna do peas. Joe, you want rice? Yeah. All right. You take rice right here, salads there. Eat your hand sandwich, okay? That's how you do a slice. Gonna thicken up. So it's gonna get loose and then we do this thing. 8.6. Yes. We're just gonna drain off the extra. Why that happened? I wasn't supposed to take it out the hood. A nice pile.
Well, Jose, I'm hungry now, but we can look at what's upcoming now for these two sides. First up for Charleston Battery, 3 left for them, 2 at home, 1 on the road at El Paso versus Miami versus Birmingham.
Well, you know, I think these are all good matches for Charleston as they continue to get ready for the playoffs and as they continue to fight for second or first place in the East. I think that game against Miami is going to be very, very challenging. 9
points available from those remaining 3 after this one today. We'll look now up ahead for Tulsa at Pittsburgh as part of a 3-match road trip versus Indy and at Hartford, their final 3.
Very, very hard schedule because Pittsburgh, obviously one of the top teams, and you know all of these games are must-win games for Tulsa, so it's a challenge.
News and notes on the other side of this break as it's currently Charleston 2, Tulsa 0 at halftime here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me.
It is halftime between Charleston and Tulsa. Charleston currently holding a 2-goal edge over their visitors from Oklahoma, trying to continue to keep pace at the top of the East. We begin to look around the league with some news and notes from around the USL Championship. Some top players, Albert Dikwa, Danny Trejo, both tied with 17 goals in the race for that golden boot. What a youngster he is. David Kimbrough, 13 years of age, called up to the Mexico U16 youth national team from Sac Republic. And there are 21 days until the end of the regular season and the championship final, now set for November 12th. On the spot, Jose, who's playing in that game?
I would say Oakland.
Okay.
And the Rowdies.
How about that? That's your pick for that. Our upcoming schedule here across the USL Championship. Any games here, Jose, that you're looking at, thinking particularly interesting either later tonight or tomorrow?
Well, you know, especially with playoff implications, I look to those games more than anything. I think Miami and Birmingham, that's a must-win for Miami. Indy and RGV as well, big matchup. Oakland and Monterey. Oakland, they really have to win those games if they want to, you know, get higher in the standings and have home field advantage through the playoffs. So a lot on the line, really, some very good matches.
In that push to the playoffs, we look at our scoreboard now here. Final, Lou City takes it over Loudoun on the road, 2-0. Pittsburgh holds the edge. Charleston obviously 2-0 up here. What a thriller. Tampa Bay and Memphis, 2 goals each for those sides within halftime. We're seeing that's a big one though. If Tampa Bay drops points, an opportunity for Charleston to capitalize.
Well, that's the perfect scenario for Charleston because, you know,
no one gets 3.
You can move past the Rowdies, and as well, you know, you can go farther away from Memphis.
We will see how those scores continue. Those out-of-town scores brought to you by the Charleston Airport. At the half, it is 2-0 Charleston over Tulsa. Some brilliant highlights for you after this break. Stick with us on ESPN+.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Hey Google, turn up the heat.
Charleston is located in the low country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else. This place is magical.
Back here, halftime, moments away from getting concluded. It is Charleston 2, Tulsa 0, as we gear up for our second 45 live from Patriots Point Soccer Complex in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. What a backdrop it always is. A beautiful, beautiful stadium. Let's look at our first 45 minutes, those highlights. There were some beautiful highlights in here, Jose. First, in the 4th minute, a brilliant start. Fidel Barajas going to get involved here after that one falls kindly for him around the middle of the park.
Yeah, well, you know, we have to give him credit as well to Icasa. Wins the ball, gets the header, lucky bounce after, then couple moves here, edge of the box, then another one inside for Barajas, and there's a little bit of a deflection, there's no doubt about it. But still, regardless, a very good finish and the perfect way to start the match for Charleston.
They had a really good control of the match. You're going to see a lot of Charleston opportunities here. They controlled things a lot throughout the match. This one, well kept in by Derek Dodson, and just one vital intervention from Eric Bird away from being a good shot for Booth.
Yeah, the timing was just perfect, you know, a little bit risky, and I'm sure Blair Gavin, watching from outside.
Nervous.
Yeah, he was very nervous about it, but, you know, Bird with a great tackle that time.
Again, Derek Dodson getting involved on the overlap. Icasa, brilliant work as he's falling over to find him, and merely finds a brilliant shot.
Yeah, you know, at this point, Icasa was really the common denominator through the middle, you know, doing a lot of good work. But then the 40th minute came by, and this happened.
Just watch the right at your screen. Just lingering at the box, just waiting for it to fall kindly for him. Good first touch. Second one is you couldn't draw that better. It was brilliant, Jose.
Yeah, Sports Center really need to answer that call.
Yeah.
That should be a top 10. It's a beauty of a goal. I have no doubt this is going to be the goal of the week in USL Championship.
It would be hard-pressed to find a better one. A pair of dances in that first 45 for the main man, Fidel Barajas. Your halftime stats brought to you by Heineken. Possession, shots, goals, yellow cards too, but the only negative really for Charleston that first 45, Jose, but a lot of positives for the battery.
Yeah, just a great job. You know, they had a strong start and a strong finish. You know, maybe along the way, in the middle, they could have done something better in terms of keeping up the intensity. But at the end of the day, they were able to score the second goal, and they carry all the momentum now in halftime. And it's really on them to close this one out and get 3 points. And for Tulsa, it's just no shots on target. They got a little bit better in the middle of the field, but they were never able to find that connection inside the box. And that's the main challenge for them here in the second half.
We'll see how things progress. In the center of the park, though, it's Icasa. Standings, as things stand. Charleston making that bump up into second place, now a point ahead of Tampa Bay, currently as things stand in a 1-1 draw with Memphis.
Yeah, it's big. It's big because they're still in the race with the game in hand as well for first place. So Pittsburgh, we saw, you know, they have a tricky schedule coming up. So it's going to be really, really interesting. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's the end of the regular season. A lot on the line in every single game. And it's not only for those teams in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place looking to get in, but also for those teams looking for first place.
It's over 8 months of work to this point. And the playoffs are looming. You saw it in the halftime, 21 days from the end of the regular season. Waiting to make sure that nobody is across the halfway line was Emilio Ucaz, and once he was satisfied, he gets his bat going in the black and yellow, or the black and yellow, the Charleston battery. They'll be heading from right to left across your screen. A big challenge there.
Oh my God.
So, welcome back to the second half challenge right there. Foul committed, Traeger knocked down.
Well, I'm surprised that's not a yellow card.
It did seem, considering the yellows that we saw in that first 45, it seemed like that would fall under that same bracket, but referee opting this time to keep it in his pocket. We'll see it again. We'll see if we change our mind with a closer look here. Just Traeger just elevating.
Oh my gosh.
He had the tackle and then the push for extra effect. Keegan Hughes getting his money's worth with that challenge, and no yellow card, so he's got another one in his back pocket. Free kick, though, is the punishment. Whipped in, it was the top of the 18. It's cleared away, and Ikaza can try and pop it back in. Dodson is attacking it. Traeger's on hand as well, but it can be scooped forward. Doesn't beat the first press. Important sliding intervention, knocked out. Is it a foul? Referee says no. Well defended by Malou. Malou tiptoeing on the touchline, knocked out. Blaine Ferry, the closest to him for a throw. He'll go forward though, instead for Weah. It's been a tough first start for Patrick Weah, the man on loan. How have you kind of assessed his first 45 minutes up to this point?
Well, you know, for him, it's not an easy game at all because you're chasing most of the time. You don't have a lot of possession, not a lot of opportunities inside the box. And once you have the ball, you have the pressure that you need to perform.
He slid this one out wide, low on goal, saved. First save made by the birthday boy, Daniel Kuzemka. Gets in front of it, makes the stop in his first start in the USL Championship this season.
That's the first shot on target, by the way, for Tulsa.
Yeah, first time I've tested him, and it was...
Yeah, well, you know, it's the good and the bad, right? You know, the good is that it took you 2 minutes since the start of the second half.
Yeah.
The bad is it took you...
Till the second half.
47 until the second half, yeah, so... We'll see what happens next.
Ferry, clever pass. Malou, he's got a lot of space here, and there's 2 in the 18 to pick out. Stands up to the back post. Haji has to track back to get to it, but he will do that. There still are 2 in the box. Ooh, bit of skill. Haji into the 18. Important foot put in. Knocked away. Williams pick up the loose one, and they'll choose for the foul. Worth bringing down the forward for Charleston.
Going back a little bit to the play with Haji, you know, that's where they're missing some of the top players right now, because Haji makes a great move on the left, but not a lot of movement from the rest of his teammates.
Yeah.
And that really helps a lot Charleston defensively because they can stay put. Because there's not a lot of movement, so they even if they're playing zone, they are comfortable with it. So that, you know, with players with a little bit of more experience and you know, a little bit more of the rhythm of competition, they know how to move around even without the ball.
Foul committed. Patrick Weah dropping deeper. His hold up earns the free kick. We haven't seen a great clear-cut chance yet for Tulsa. First shot on target was by Segrist. Worth and Ferry are the 2 standing over it. Nate Worth clips it into the 18, headed across goal, going agonizingly past the head of Eric Bird, and is hooked away. Defensively, some work to do. Enough is done by Teten. Played forward there. Wow, that was close. Close, but not quite enough there for Tulsa. And here is Charleston in response. Driving forward, the foul will be called. Barajas taking a shot. He's got to be careful there, Fidel Barajas. It is their free kick, but second time now that he's kicked the ball away after a free kick was given. That one, Derek Dodson winning it.
Yeah, and after the whistle, which, you know, that's where you get in trouble.
Yeah, and he's on a yellow card as well.
Yeah, yeah.
See, now the free kick is given, though. Free kick coming up here. Dangerous, whipped into the box, headed away. Ikaza thought he was sizing one up. Traeger, top of the 18. Patient, Dodson across goal. Oh, agonizing the over from Andrew Booth. Had the goal at his mercy, but got under it, went over the goal.
Just great ball movement, outstanding, you know, the way they were able to regroup after a set piece. You know, even with Tulsa clearing the ball away, you know, they had the proper channels ready, and they really built up on an opportunity. Really, really good one.
It's one back, high up the field. Booth again. He had a good opportunity. He's hunting for another one in quick succession. Allen is with him. I'll give it to him. Cochran, Ikaza dropping deep. Carry it. This is really well done. Allen off the feed from Traeger. Crawford offering some support. He'll slip it to him. He's gonna bounce kindly. Crawford powering into the 18, stands up to the back post. Important header, knocks it away. Still in the center of the park, Ikaza. Dodson getting back on side after he made the run to the back post. They're up 2 goals, but they're penning their opponents in, trying to make life very uncomfortable. Into the channel, Traeger gets to it. Tristan Traeger now onto the right. The back heel doesn't quite come off. Back to him, though. Back to Crawford. Patient onto his preferred right. He's hunting a hat trick, Barajas is. He's in the area. He's on a yellow card, Barajas is, but he's got 2 goals. So if you're Ben Pierman, you're looking at, do I keep him on? Do I take him off? What kind of are you balancing when you want to let the kid, you know, he's a fiery player. You risk second yellow, but you also give him, he's on a hat trick. Hard to pull him off.
Tell you what, give him an opportunity inside the box. Let him finish, go out with the hat trick and move on.
Here's Ikaza. Will it come here? Emilio Ikaza trying to drag one back. It's blocked. It'll spin kindly. Malou is there. Crawford was wise to his turn. It's been a really impressive performance so far from Charleston. You see in the top right of your screen some of our scores from around the USL Championship. Ball making its way to the right-hand side. Barajas onto the left. Whipped in at the front post. Williams was attacking, but it bounces through. Nelson catches it gratefully.
You know, we started the game talking about Traeger, about Williams, about Barajas, but I think there are 2 players that are equally as important. Detroit with a 2-0 lead over Hartford. And it's Booth and Ikaza.
Yeah.
Those are 2 very important players for the setup of this team. And, you know, obviously, most of the time they're going to get overlooked just because they don't score as much.
Yeah.
And, like, tonight I think is the perfect example. Barajas will get all the attention, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
You know, scored 2 beautiful goals. But if you really look into the game, Ikaza and Booth, they're so important in the middle for this team, and they're really a big part of the concept that Ben Pierman has been able to establish here in Charleston.
Booth combines with Ikaza. Ikaza knocked off it, though. Those 2 in the middle of the park, alongside Chris Allen. Allen doing a dependable job as well. It is always the mark of a side that He's very successful as Ikaza gets a foot to that one, takes a bit of a deflection on his press. And you got players willing to make runs like that. Didn't come from anything,
right?
But you need players willing to do the hard yards, do the hard work. And they've got some talent in the middle of the park with Booth, Ikaza, and Allen, but they're also very willing with their work rate.
Yeah, this is a solid team. You know, they are contenders. They want to finish, you know, as high as possible, but it doesn't really matter when you have, you know, a system in place that everybody feels comfortable with. So it's just one more accomplishment. You really want to finish in first place. And that's going to give you a lot of confidence, of course, and, you know, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But they will compete no matter what.
Worth with the foul there. You kind of hear Ben Pierman making the case. He's saying that, asking if Nate Worth was on a yellow card. Referee says no. And he's saying that there's been quite a number of fouls on the youngster.
I just love it.
Played in field. Booth. Traeger. I believe it's, I was trying to figure out the exact number of fouls against Worth. I believe it's up to 4 now on him without a yellow card. And it feels like once you get to 4 or 5, even if none of them are of yellow card worthiness on their own, almost at a certain point you say, all right, that's enough fouls at one point.
Well, Ben Pierman is keeping count.
Yeah, he's making the case.
And he's right.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need to do as a coach, as a player, is make the case, because referees, they will see, they won't see things. They've got blind spots, as all humans do. But if you make the case, hey, 18, he's committed a couple fouls, he hasn't been booked yet. It's in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Whether the next, if there is a Worth foul that leads to a yellow card, Ben Pierman will be the, I guess, assister on the yellow card there.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Here's Bird. Kept it in play. Some nice control with his chest. Haji. Malou ranges over to keep that one in play. Hughes can pass it back. Tete. Awkward pass. Barajas gets there first. It's a 4-on-3. The black and yellow swarming. Barajas on a hat trick. Oh, just wide of goal. Was that the chance, Jose, for you, that you said give him the chance in the box if you make it the hat trick? It was a tough one.
Yeah, no, that was a chance for an assist because 2 players on the far post were wide open. But you can't blame him, to be honest.
17 on a hat trick on your preferred left foot.
Yeah, he needed to take that shot.
He's in a very confident spot right now, and justifiably so.
Yeah, it's just, you know, with time, you know, he's going to make the right decision.
Referee was a quick word with Tete. Some subs coming in now. Angel Bernal will be coming into the match. As will Colin Fernandez. You can see them beginning to come out onto the field. Patrick Weah, his debut coming to a close. Or not his debut, I should say, his first start coming to a close. Justin Malou also coming out of the match. Angel Bernal coming into it. So Bernal and Fernandez on for Weah and Malou. A tough one for Weah. You know, you have a guy 4 sub appearances up to this point on loan, and you lose your top 3 leading scorers, some of your biggest players. You'd like to play them around, either coming off the bench for or pairing up with a Goodrum or an Epps or a Josef. Had to carry the torch alone up front. He's off, though, the first 2 subs of our match. The first 2 cards being played by Blair Gavin, trying to tinker with things, trying to shift things around.
Yeah, the
see how it plays out.
The game is still within reach for Tulsa.
Two goals, and if you entered today, Jose, a point on the road to Charleston was not a bad result. So it's not like you need 3 to stay in the race.
Yeah.
You ideally are getting 3 to keep yourself in a good spot, especially with Detroit still holding their lead over Hartford. But 2 is attainable.
Yeah.
The match is not at all lost, but it's definitely difficult, a route back. And if they find 3, Charleston will feel very confident of seeing out the 3 points. Progressing well though, Haji trying to get the ball out of his feet. He does that. Try clipping it across. It's headed away. Hughes. Fernandez. Nice bit of progression. The subs combining. Bernal into the 18. That one was last touched by Charleston, so they have to keep it in play. Well done by Traeger. Keeps it alive on the touchline, kicks it off an opponent. It's a throw for the Battery.
New Mexico with a late goal, still won against Pittsburgh. And Detroit already 3-0 over Hartford. So that looks like it's almost set and done.
You see 3 goals feels, especially at home for Detroit, feels like a spot that you, if you're a playoff hopeful, you got to see that out, especially if the struggling Hartford side.
Rowdies in Memphis is still 2-2. So, you know, really this is, it's not a good weekend for Tulsa as it stands right now.
Not a lot going right. Still 30 minutes plus stoppage time to try and shift the narrative. Try and pull themselves back into this one. It's Fernandez. Bird. Trying one forward. Well defended and well carried forward. Great drop of the shoulder from Barajas. And he's got some room to drive into now. They'll check it up and pass it back to Dodson. Pass intercepted. Bit sloppy in the middle of the park. Bird. Moved out to the left side. See the shots, 8-3 in favor of Charleston. They've been very effective getting into the final third and being productive once they get there. The 2 goals from Barajas. The 2 to show for it. Here's Bird. Haji. Fernandez. Bird. Bird. Took a deflection, spins wide, corner kick given. Opportunity here potentially for Tulsa from the set piece. There's Bird wearing the captain's armband. Very experienced player. Trying to be the talisman to lead his side back in a comeback effort on the road.
They haven't been able to put numbers inside the box, and obviously corner kicks are exactly that for Tulsa at this point. So they really need a good service in here.
Worth. It's clipped up to the back post. Chested down by Bird. Oh, just over the goal. A really tough chance, but it felt like one he would have to take.
Yeah, see, those are exactly the opportunities that when they come your way in this type of scenario for Tulsa, you really need to score.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
You can see heading off the pitch now is Emilio Icaza coming off for Beto Avila coming on. Avila in for Icaza, center of the park. Icaza was on a yellow card, so referee, or I should say Ben Pierman, probably playing that in mind and making his first sub of the match so far.
You know, at this point in the game, it's also about managing the minutes for some of your players without compromising the result for Charleston. They have a good lead, 2 goals, but at the same time, you don't want to be in a scenario where players get injured or you overplay them. And then, playoffs are coming, and again, it's just a 1 game, so you try it at least to, get all your players ready to go.
Referee says no foul after the dribble forward. Allen brings it in. It was a focus for Ben Pierman, making sure they don't limp into the playoffs. They come in a good vein of form. The foul from behind Hughes, knocking down Traeger. Seemed obvious. The referee agrees. It'll be a free kick. Well, the Battery have a brand new look on and off the field this year, thanks to Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including the custom 2023 primary, secondary, and alternate kits by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com.
Feels like you can go wrong with black and yellow, right? But I think they've done a solid job.
It's a great platform to build from. Job isn't done, but they've done a very, very good job with that. They have at Charleston. We'll see what they can serve up here. Crawford whipped in towards the back post, headed down wide. Appeals from both teams, and they point eventually for a goal kick. One back. Traeger. Here's Traeger. Takes it to looping deflection. Bird can head it away. A lot of fighting for this loose ball. In the end, it'll break. Segrist can play it. Haji. Clever pass. Eric Bird making a big run. Near side, it's a substitute in acres of space. A chance. Low. What a save. Vital to keep it at 2-0. Angel Bernal was in a great spot, but stopping him, Daniel Kuzemka just gets big, gets low quickly.
Well, Blair Gavin, he did provide a spark with the opportunities, but unfortunately Tulsa, they just haven't been able to capitalize on it.
Bernal, a solid chance, solid shot. But didn't do enough to put it past Kuzemka, who just got low. Making his first league start of this season, his 2023 season. Made 2 appearances in the US Open Cup. Does not appear in the defeat to Inter Miami. That was Trey Muse. Trey Muse has started all 30 games. This one, dangerous pass. Haji, brilliant first touch. Onto his right. Oh, took it into a crowd and couldn't quite pull it off. The move was right up until he moved centrally into the sea of opponents. Since the subs, there have been signs of life for Tulsa for sure, but they've been limited. Referee blows for a pause.
Yeah, and more than anything, looks like Crawford's down.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's just that they haven't been able to score. With one of those 2 goals comes in.
Save here.
It's a different story.
This is a brilliant pass from Bird, picks out Bernal. It's a good save. What are you leaning there, Jose? Good save, poor shot?
No, it's a good save, no doubt about it. The ball bounces right in front of him, and that's the trickiest part for a goalkeeper. You never want to let a ball bounce in front of you.
Yeah.
Because you never know what could happen. But, at the end of the day, it's a situation where Tulsa, you really work hard throughout the match to get in a position where you take a shot on target. Remember, first half, no shots on target at all. Completely different story in the second half. But, it's not about, it's about scoring at this point.
Yeah.
It's about the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in the playoffs, you need to score.
Yeah. Some subs coming here for Tulsa. Coming out of the match, Blaine Ferry. Didn't say his name a ton, didn't really implement himself a ton into this one. Moses Dyer, the man who will be coming on for him. But you imagine We'll see, at least, if Robbie Crawford can continue to play in this one, or if he'll need to come out making his 17th start of the season. Didn't appear to see if it was under contact, and also down, separate from Crawford, is Barajas. There's a bit of cramp, or if he's feeling the effects of something.
Oh, I'm not taking the chances right there.
Yeah.
Take him out.
To Crawford, and I think the trainers are pointing over to see Barajas now and saying that their job on the field may not be over. Even if it's cramp, Jose, I think you're just taking Barajas off. You're saying there's no reason to risk it here with 20 minutes to go. He's done his job. He's got a pair of goals already.
Yeah, it looks like it's just cramps.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, it goes back to managing minutes. And, yeah, I think just can't take any chances.
He'll be now attended to after Crawford is now off the field. He's got a penny in his hand, so likely the end of his day. Barajas will go off at the nearest spot. He's back to his feet quickly, but I think he's going to be likely wrapping it up here. Pierre Reedy preparing to come on. Declan Wynn, he'll be coming on as well. He'll be on for Crawford, and Reedy will be on for Barajas. That will be the end of the day for the incredibly talented 17-year-old. A brace for him to double his league tally and have us here at a 2-0 match.
Yeah, just, you know, two beautiful goals. Obviously, you know, this one very important as well because it was early on in the match, and that allowed Charleston to settle down a little bit into the game and not feel the pressure, you know, of playing against a team in Tulsa with not a lot of their starters. And then this happened in the 40th minute mark.
It's still absurd.
Just beautifully done.
It's a tight angle to bend it in that corner where the keeper doesn't even have a chance to reach for it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's just outstanding. And now for Charleston, you know, it's about, you know, getting things done defensively. You really don't need to score anymore. If you put out a solid performance, well organized defensively for the next 18 minutes, it should be 3 points.
Both Wynn and Reedy, very capable wide defenders. Reedy's been pushed forward at times. This one's gonna be awkward. Just knocked out a play, no nonsense. After it wasn't fully brought in by Kuzemka. Barajas still making his way off the field. Getting some plaudits from the home crowd. Incredibly talented youngster. Again, looked to be just a case of cramp, so they'll be hopefully he can continue to be impactful down the run of the rest of the regular season, and obviously come playoff time. Whipped in, near post. Just a neat effort forward.
Memphis takes the lead.
How
it's
about
3-2 in all land.
How about that?
Oh boy.
So interestingly, this one is foul committed in the middle of the park. Archer, no nonsense defending. Entering the day, Charleston knew if they won and either Memphis lost to Tampa Bay or Lou City lost to Loudoun, then they would be guaranteed a home playoff spot. Now, as things stand, neither of those things have happened. Lou City have already beaten Loudoun 2-1, and currently Memphis in the 75th minute holds a 3-2 edge over Tampa Bay. So no guarantee of a playoff spot, or a home playoff spot, I should say, very importantly for Charleston. But the win puts you in a great spot.
Yeah, second place with 2 points in hand over the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah. Williams. Been quiet so far by his standards. Slides it. Played across, blocked out of play. Pierre Reedy trying to do that one. Avila will make his way over. But again, Charleston currently sitting second in the East with results as they currently hold. Memphis bumping themselves up into 4th place. Tampa Bay in 3rd. Pittsburgh holding top spot. Whipped in. Dangerous. Oh, a vital intervention. A foul may have been called on the keeper. A foul called on the keeper. So it'll be a free kick for Tulsa. Seemed almost too good to be true, and that one went right over the keeper.
Yeah.
Wide open in front of goal.
Well, 75th minute mark, and it seems like Tulsa is starting to slow down a little bit. You know, the importance of, you know, scoring when you had the opportunities. That could have provided that extra level of energy that you needed to close out the match. And unfortunately, they were not able to do it. You know, things still can happen, obviously. It's a long way to go, but
still 15 minutes in this one. But it did feel like they would have loved to see one of them go home. But here it is, a chance. Will the flag go up? It will indeed. Seemed, again, a too good to be true situation in so much space. Was the recent sub Dyer. He may have wanted to pass a hair earlier, but when he did receive it, he seemed well offside.
Yeah, well, you know, I think Dyer, and here's a better look.
Yeah.
He just need to be a little bit more patient, you know.
Yeah.
He had the advantage.
He was in a good spot, almost a tough one to defend against if he holds his run a little bit.
Yeah, he was able to position himself, you know, in the right position. He was rightly so making that run, but you just need to watch the line and be a little bit patient, and then wait for that ball to come to you, and then finish, which is something that he was able to do, but unfortunately for Tulsa, he was offside.
Reedy. Williams. Scoop. Clever bit of skill. Big tackle. Avila is taken off of him. Playing on the back, Tulsa. Searching for a route back in. Rucci played it off. Switch of play. Hughes, his first touch. He's able to try and chase, but it's hooked away. Williams in the press. Worth. Hughes, centrally. Bird slides one off. Nice bit of interplay. Left-hand side, across goal. Zemka got low, brave, around the feet, and catches it. He's been dependable in goals and stepping in. Been a very good performance for him on his 25th birthday.
Yeah, solid job. You know, the right way to celebrate your birthday on a soccer field. It doesn't get any better than that. For Tulsa as well, another good opportunity out of the build-up. You know, they haven't come as often as they would have wanted in this match, but you know, just again, a good sign, and just unfortunately not able to finish.
Big tackle put in. He says no foul. Traeger just slides it over to Booth. Dodson. Again, they will be in no rush here.
Right.
11 minutes plus stoppage time, but the clock is very much in their favor. Every minute that ticks by puts them just that much closer to another 3 points. Kuzemka.
At this point, if you're Charleston, you just need to defend with the ball. You don't want to be under pressure.
Yeah.
You know, hold on to the ball, move it around.
Free kick here, we'll keep it with them.
Right, make a tired Tulsa team chase, continue to chase, and you know, sooner rather than later, the 90th minute mark will come and you'll be able to move over the line.
The Battery are back at Patriots Point on Saturday, October 7th versus Miami FC. Tickets are available now via SeatGeek, the Battery's exclusive ticketing provider. Get your tickets now and save up to $10 per seat when you buy in advance. Head to tickets.charlestonbattery.com today. 2 home matches left for Charleston.
Yeah. And that's going to be a tough one for Charleston. Miami coming off a 4-3 win midweek against Louisville. You know, a little bit of a surprising result.
Yeah.
Outside of the playoff line right now, so it's a must-win situation for Miami.
You see it all the time with embrace after the foul committed in the middle of the field. Points, there's not many of them left.
Yeah.
For Charleston, just 9 left to be gained this year in their final 3. Same situation for Tulsa. I know that it's going to be a tough battle to try and earn the points required to get into the playoffs for Tulsa. As things stand, they've been bumped down to 9th. Detroit City taking their spot in 8th. Currently up 3-0 over Hartford. Final stages of that one as well as it is here. Here's Reedy. Dodson back to Booth. Williams, great bit of hold-up play. Can he find a teammate? Oh, just couldn't quite get his head up, pick out the run. Edo Avila was in a lot of space. Archer. Archer putting a foot through it. Booth. Traeger gets there. Tristan Traeger. Brilliant tackle put in. Gets the ball, knocks the man over. They can pick it up. They can try and progress. They quickly move it forward. Haji, far side. Bird called for it. He got it. Can he line one up? It's low. What a shot. Is that a route back in? Special effort from Eric Bird from distance. They've cut the lead in half. Tulsa fighting for their playoff lives. 1 goal away from trying to get a point on the road.
The captain leading the way for Tulsa. Takes in the challenge. The ball, again, bounces right in front of the goalkeeper. We saw that happen a few moments ago. It was the save, the first one, not the second one. A great shot from Bird and a great way to lead this team back into the game. We have a ball game here.
That's a way to kick it back into life. Avila, he gets forward. Can they reestablish the lead? Across, Williams. Can he keep the composure? What a stop! Point blank range. Michael Nelson gets big and stays in front of Augie Williams. Wow, nearly an instant response. They say you're weakest right after you score. And Tulsa, they were cut apart in an instant.
What a moment for Michael Nelson.
Yeah.
I think we've had goal of the week and save of the week here.
We've been treated here, Jose.
I mean,
very well treated.
Just outstanding. What a great job against one of the top strikers in the league.
Here they are. They're searching for an equalizer now, out of nowhere. Bernal back. Bird. That's a great pass into the 18. Bird coming back. Can he go for 2? Stands it up. Headed out of play. Who did that touch last? Referee points for a goal kick. Let's see that save again, though, Jose. Let's double back to it.
Yeah, I think Beto Avila was just a little bit too late, you know, fitting the ball through Augie Williams, but in the end, a good one. And then Williams takes his time to finish, but just it's on Michael Nelson standing his ground in front of him.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Able to just make the save with his legs, pick it up with his hands. He was beaten twice by Barajas, but he would not be beaten then by Williams.
If Tulsa finds a way to score the equalizer here in the next 6 minutes or so, we cannot forget about that moment.
Definitely not. Nelson.
That would be equally as important as the second goal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it basically was a goal. It keeps us from being a 3-1 match.
Right.
And it would have been the epitome of a gut punch if you have this goal, break yourself back into the game. Avila, an ambitious effort, just didn't catch it right. It'll be a goal kick. I mean, you have this moment that gets you back into it, both emotionally and literally into the game.
Yeah.
And to have it immediately snatched away from you would have, you wouldn't say a guarantee of the points for Charleston, but it would have been a really hard road back. Still not an easy one to go down. Bird is fouled by Booth.
Boy, there you go.
This is a dangerous one. This is something that you could try and serve into the box. Worth going over to it. He could try and also go for the short option. They haven't found a ton of success from their set pieces, but they're going to try and send some numbers forward on this one. Watch Bernal making a clever run. He's in a lot of space on the right-hand side. Worth. He clips it in. Headed across goal. It's left. It'll go to Bernal. Great turn into the 18. Headed away. Avila, was he fouled by Worth? He was. Will the referee produce a yellow card? He will this time. It's one foul too many for the youngster. And Nate Worth enters the referee's pocket.
Aside from the yellow card, which, you know, I don't think we can blame him for it. He just needed to stop play at that point.
Yeah.
It was a counterattack situation building. How about Worth bringing the service in that free kick?
Yeah.
You know?
That was
youngster, give him that responsibility.
16 years of age, he still is put into that spot. Pair of players coming on now. Tristan Traeger coming off for Joe Schmidt. And Augie Williams is coming off as well for AJ Patterson. Schmidt making his 9th appearance of the season from the bench. You can tell, obviously, both Patterson and Schmidt, midfield, defensive-minded substitutions, bringing off Traeger and Williams. It is clear it is time to dig in. If you are Charleston, try and see out this one-goal edge they now hold. Cut in half by Eric Bird after it was established at 2 goals by Barajas. As I kept in play, it was not. Out for a throw.
Shouldn't be a lot of attitude.
I was just about to say that. It does not feel like this has been a particularly stop and start half. There was a sizable stoppage for both Crawford and Barajas. We'll see if that adds too much. But only the one goal. We'll see in about 2 minutes how much there will be of it. You imagine at least 5 minutes overall of time. This one takes a looping ball. Schmidt can press. Maybe Schmidt can get to it. Joe Schmidt carrying forward a big tackle. Yellow card immediately produced. Colin Fernandez just had to make a talent challenge there as Joe Schmidt was carrying through the middle. Former Indiana Hoosier. Very dependable option in the middle of the park. Todd Yeagley and company coming off the bench here, trying to just offer support and doing just enough there. And that was a challenge. Yellow card.
Yeah, no complaining.
No, I mean, he got up immediately, walked away. Almost an orange card situation there as well.
Yeah, maybe, you know, from behind. Very risky, you know. Nothing major happened.
Yeah.
But those are the sliding tackles where, you know, it's
dangerous.
Yeah,
it
could be bad.
Clipped up. Dodson should try and chase. It's a goal kick now. 30 seconds plus stoppage time for Tulsa to dig deep. Every point is crucial. This one wouldn't put them back in the playoff spots. But come October, could it be a point that gets them into the playoffs? They'll only know that if they have it. Avila's down. The big coming together. He's holding his face. The referee is not going to stop play immediately. Worth. Segrist. Haji back to him. 5 minutes of additional time. Extra time brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. There's 5 minutes of it. Oh, the pass from Worth there. He wanted the run, but on different wavelengths with Segrist. Referee producing yellow card. Which confirmation of who it was. Looked to be the Charleston bench again, but it was not Ben Pierman. You know, it was the Charleston assistant who got it. It wasn't Ben Pierman this time. He was on a yellow. Would have been a second yellow for him. The head coach for Charleston. A yellow card brought to you by Spinks. That one clipped out of play, turned back over. Pierman in discussion with the fourth official. Tulsa, left-hand side. Booth gets a foot to it. It's headed out of play. Toss back in quickly to Haji. Bird, he's got one of the goals. Trying to drag out a midfielder. Switch of play to Segrist. He's there. Fernandez. Back to him. Fires it to the feet. Whipped into the box. Important clearance by Patterson. Hooked it away. Dyer was in a bit of space, able to get towards that left-hand side. Is there one last chance in this for an equalizer? Fernandez scoops it. Haji onto the right. Whips it in, headed away. Can Avila try and carry it forward? He can. He'll win the foul. Very important win by him. A lot of time can be burnt off now. Drawing the foul off of, looks to be Segrist.
Yeah, more than a foul. I think you'll earn 30 or 40 seconds, maybe a minute out of that. And
big key for Tulsa is get the ball in the spot quickly so they can begin saying, all right, you should probably go take this free kick.
Archer's taking his time.
Yeah. There are just 2 minutes of the minimum remaining. The referee can always choose to add a little bit more on based on how much was actually played during stoppage time. Archer puts a foot through it. Ooh, might set up kindly. Avila, if he can get there, he can. He keep it in play, and the corner will be his friend. Up against Worth. Very well done by the substitute. Textbook clock management in that instance.
You love it when you have the lead. You hate it when you're chasing the game. But it's part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will do it at some point.
Reedy. Still fighting for it. Corner kick. A clever touch, just kind of scoop it off the foot of his opponent. Referee whistles it to come back into play. Rolled to Reedy. Another throw. This has been masterful in terms of just
very well
clock management. It feels like we've almost had 2 minutes burnt off here in this corner. Reedy fighting for it. Pierre Reedy. Corner kick.
Oh, boy.
Man, this has been very, very well done. And this is kicked. Will probably be past the minimum of the 5. That will be it. Referee says that was enough. And Charleston, it was nervy at the end, but they hold on and they see out the 3 points and push themselves closer and closer to securing a home playoff game here at Patriots Point.
Well, at this point in the season, there's no easy win, and I think Charleston proved that to be right because they had a good performance and they had a 2-goal lead, and they were pretty much ready to go. But guess what? A late goal did put some pressure on them.
We're going to talk about our man of the match now, Fidel Barajas. A brace, a pair of brilliant goals. He is our man of the match today, presented by Heineken. The first one, you think that's special, Jose?
Yep.
It's a great one, coming on the left foot, puts that one in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, but it gets better than that.
It gets better than that. The dance was great the first time. How about it again with an even better finish? Just could not get enough of that goal.
Yeah, just an outstanding finish. And the way he's able to control the ball as well as it moves to the far post, it's beautiful to watch, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Fidel Barajas, a brace from the youngster is enough to get the 3 points and move the Charleston Battery up into second in the Eastern Conference. The final score brought to you by Wicked Weed. Charleston Battery 2, FC Tulsa 1. Highlights on the other side of this break on ESPN+.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Charleston is located in the Low Country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else. This place is magical.
The final score is brought to you by Wicked Weed, and it goes Charleston 2, FC Tulsa 1. A massive 3 points for the Battery sees them move to second in the Eastern Conference. I'll show you how they did it with the goals and the key moments of this match. We've seen them a couple times now, Jose. I could see them a couple more times from Fidel Barajas. Just an absolutely brilliant performance. Our full-time highlights, take a look at them again, brought to you by Bud Light.
Yeah, no problem with watching both of the goals from Charleston and from Fidel Barajas. Well, you know, he gets a good header before this from Icasa. That pretty much sets things up here. Obviously, he does the rest with a great move here outside the box. Another one inside the deflection that helps, yes. But all the credit goes to Fidel. He takes the shot on target that time.
And again, this time you'll see him lingering on the right-hand side. This one's going to be whipped into the box. Dealt with initially the header down. Good first touch, even better second one.
Yeah, the first touch is also, you know, equally as impressive because, you know, he's able to react immediately to the play, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
That ball almost had a bit of hop to it as he managed to strike through it. Second half now, they were searching for trying to get themselves back into this one. A really good pass in behind, and the keeper coming up big on his 25th, getting down low, was Daniel Kuzemka.
Yeah, a couple of chances for Tulsa. We felt, you know, within the game that they needed to score earlier. They were able to do it in the 83rd minute, and maybe it was just too little too late.
We have waxed lyrical about that second goal from Barajas, justifiably so. This one, a very impressive effort as well from Eric Berg, just to laser that one at the bottom left corner.
Yeah, just you know, a great strike, and what makes it a challenge for the goalkeeper is the fact that the ball bounces right in front of him.
84th minute now, and this is a great opportunity to kill the match off, but it wasn't seen through. Avila picks out Williams, and it's a great save from Nelson to keep things at 2-1, but it would end there, Jose, at 2-1. Your final thoughts as the stats begin to come through here, that last chance saved by Nelson on Williams.
Yeah, we saw goal of the week, save of the week, same match. Well, you know, 48% possession for Tulsa. I think that's a positive for them. Although, like I said before, this is no time for moral victories. You really need to get points. For Tulsa, they were not able to do it on the road. And I think deservedly so, because the better team was Charleston, and they really needed to get 3 points as they continue to chase first place here in the Eastern Conference.
There are 3 matches left in the season for both sides. The points, though, today head the way of the Charleston Battery. For the Battery, next up, they will hit the road, take on El Paso. For Tulsa, they hit the road. They played now second in the East today. They'll play first in the East in Pittsburgh on the road next weekend. A big test for them to try and get that one to go there. It was a great one, though, from Patriots Point. Some special goals, some special moments. It finishes Charleston 2, Tulsa 1 for my color commentator, Jose Rodriguez, the entire production crew, and myself, Jack Edwards. That will do it for our broadcast here today. Some special moments, and Charleston chasing that top seed in the East made it one step closer with 3 to go. Final for ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.